What's up, fam? Stephanie Joe, aka Dr. Dread, here today to make some extensions. I have a special order in for a 40 count double end grays with mostly light gray and some dark gray. Hybrid locks. Hybrid locks are dreadlocks that are created with hair that is already curled. So for synthetic hair, this comes from the factory as such, heat sealed in whatever curl pattern you want. So we are going to take these and we are going to make extensions that lock all the way down and maintain a curl. The curl is maintained from the original curl pattern of the manufactured curl. This creates a hybrid lock. So hybrid indicates that it was a manufactured curl that has been reworked to a dreadlock that maintains that curl pattern for the ease of wearing to keep curls without having curls that go crazy. Because when you have curls that are loose, you can wind up with situations where things get wonky. Things get crazy. And I will do a video showing how to bring these back down, how to repair and maintain your synthetic extension sets to prevent this from being permanent. We can fix that very easily, very easily. But for those who don't want to deal with this, those who don't want all this in their hair, hybrid locks. Hybrid locked locks. So today, we're going to make those. I'm going to start with the lighter of my colors. So this is one of the bundles that was in the pack of hair. Find the center. Remove the packaging. Which is usually more helpful with my glasses on. My scissors. They're in my other box over there, though. Remove packaging, no rubber band. So now we have all the same curl pattern. And this is the center. You see the center? Where it was folded over? That's where we want to keep our focus. So. Generally, when I'm making sections, I will look at the size and decide if we need 1, 2, 3, depending on how thick of a lock my client wants. I'm probably going to run with doubles on this. No, maybe I'll just run with singles because that looks like it's going to be a thick enough lock. So we take our one section. I am going to run with singles. take our section and we want to anchor. So for those who have not seen me anchor, I use a number of different anchoring methods, and I don't like how thin that is. I'm probably going to wind up using 2 because that's not going to create a very thick lock. I use a couple of different anchoring methods, but because as most of you know, I'm a traveling loctician, I got to be on the go. I don't have time to create workstations every time I get somewhere. So my trusty dread trunk becomes my workstation. And I actually have 2 dread trunks. This one is for storage. It was my former dread trunk. And I have a larger one that has trays that come out that I will show you for jewels and beads and all my storage, my needles, my combs, hair ties, yada, yada, yada. So how I do this is I'll open my dread trunk. It's just a caboodle case. Caboodles. I open my dread trunk. And then I close my dread trunk. Right where I want to work. And I want to be below. I want to be working below that midpoint. So I've got that midpoint right here. So I can start working at the midpoint, and then I'll take it out, flip it around, and I'll do the other side. So we are doing closed lock bodies. So I'm going to take this whole lock body and close it all the way down to the very end. And I might leave some little wispy out for a curl. So dreadlock tool, crochet needle, my best friend. Keep an arsenal of these, brand new, because they get dull, they're dirty. You don't want to reuse these. They're disposable for a reason. And if your loctician isn't pulling out a new needle every time she does your hair, you need to ask her where the fuck that thing's been. Excuse my language. Okay. So, can we see? We can't see it. Now we can see. So, we are going to take, and we want to hold this curl so that it stays. We want to maintain this curl pattern. Just like I've shown you with the other videos, this is the same exact crochet technique. I use the same exact crochet technique for everything. I rotate my needle, and I rotate my lock. That's it. Now, with this, you want to keep the hair inside your fingers very loosely so you can feel what's going on. You're going to feel these different curls come up in your fingers some, but they're not going to start bunching up. If they do, I'll show you how to fix it. So you're going to start at your top middle, come down to the next curl that starts from there. And you're just going to do a little bit of caging to begin something. Little bit of caging. See that? Just a little bit of caging. Twist that bad boy. Come down to the next part of the curl. Just a little bit of caging. That's it. Come on down to the next curl. Just a little bit of caging. You see how this is developing? The curl is staying in there. Let's get closer. I'm not a professional, though I'm trying. Is that better? Better? Yeah. So you can see we've got knots there. We've got knots here. We've got knots here. Now this is synthetic, so we're going to heat seal this at the end and solidify all that. But that hair is not going to come back out of that form. So now we're just going to continue this repetitive fashion for each curl going down the entire lock body. I'm not pulling hard here, so my hair is not coming out of my dread trunk. I'm not pulling hard here, so I have no ripping or snapping. My curl pattern is staying intact. So, I'm getting too close to myself and I'm getting too far away here. I'm going to open my dread trunk and I'm going to bring the locked portion to my closure so it's solid, and I'm going to continue. Starting to poof out a little bit there, so we're going to pull our straights. Pull our straights. Keeps the curl pattern intact, brings everybody back together. Bring it around, do it again. Bring it around, do it again. You'll feel this direction. Keep trying to change with the flow of the curl. Let it go. Let it change. And follow your needle. You always want to be on the underside of this curve. I guess unless you're left-handed, then you want to be on the other side of the curve. I'm right-handed. And you can take this all the way down. You're just getting smaller. And the further you get down, the more important it is to follow that curl pattern, because you don't want to lose the definition of your curl. Very light pinching here. If you try to take control of it, it's not going to work. If you try to lock too much of this up, it's not going to work. This is just a light caging. And then your true solidarity will come when you heat seal all of these fibers together. Bingo. 1/2 of a hybrid lock. Done. Flip it around. There's where we're starting. Same thing, different direction. I can feel that getting a little squirrely because that's where our top was. Maintain that curl pattern. Be intentional. You may wind up with a small straight there, but do remember that came from the manufacturer like that. You can't control everything. So you do have a small straight there, but you also know where the center of your lock is. Continuing down. Let's reel these guys in together. Pull my straights, and then you see what just happened there? Those curls will emphasize. Now we've got straights again. Our curls are together. They're straight. Nice light crochet work. Just to cage these babies together. Move it up. Pull them down. Keep digging. I can feel it getting a little squirrely under there, so I'm going to pull it straight. Get my straights back. See my curl come back. Curls back to uniform. Keep digging. Following that curl pattern. Letting that spiral all by itself. I'm keeping a very loose grip on the actual spiral. Too much tension, you're going to lose your entire curl. See that curl just forming. Getting a little squirrely again. Pull them back, and they're back to straights. Letting that spiral create itself within my fingers. I'm not causing any tension on the outside of the spiral. I'm letting it manipulate itself, with my only focus being the single stitch that I'm working on. Gets a little bit more difficult towards the bottom. Try and close that up just a little bit more. Let's go back and double check our ends. We want a center. So now I'm going to put my center line in my trunk. So now I can see side by side how much more I need to lock this down, which looks like maybe to about here. Very delicate. It gets harder the further you get down because that curl is so small. So small. I think we're about there. We're going to go another curl. That's it. We'll have to heat seal these after I'm done, but that is one hybrid lock double end extension. 1 of 40. Number 2. We did 2 curls. So we're going to maintain 2 curls. 1, 2. I don't use braiding racks. Way too messy. Too much going on at once. And it's something else you have to buy and something else you have to store. I'm good on all that. I've had to learn as a traveling loctician, I don't have room. So I have improvised and learned how to do things with what I have. Because I'm also a DIY 80s kid. Which is what brought me into doing dreadlocks in the first place. I called around and they said, $2,000, $2,500 to do your hair. I said, you crazy. I ain't paying that. I learned how to do it myself. And now I'm in 36 states. All right, got wonky there. Bring it back, Steph. Focus. 1 curl, 2 curl. Top, top. Top, top. There we go. Keeping that curl. I'm going to lock it right here. I want that curl pattern to stay right there. You see? I need that curl to stay together. If the curl doesn't stay together right here, it's not going to be right the rest of the way down. That guy's annoying me. He's just got to go. All right. That one as well. Starting at that top curl there. Our midpoint. Just getting the lock started. Boom, boom. Bring it around. Start caging around that spiral. Just like that, You can feel it starting to come together inside your fingers right here. Bring it around. Cage it in. Bring it around. Cage it in. Bring it around. Cage it in. See how easy that curl comes together? Now let's lock it. Now it's solid. I'm not going to keep pulling on me. All right. Pull my straights. Get my curl back together. Let's do this. If your hands get tense, if you start getting frustrated, take a break. Go make a cup of coffee. Walk around the house. Woosah. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and then bring it back down. Come back to it. This is not something that you want to do while you're stressed. This is not something that you want to stress you out. Every bit of intention goes into this. And especially if you're working for locs for somebody else, you don't want that energy to go in to somebody else's ropes, even if they're extensions, because the world's got enough bad juju out there. Bring it around. Lock them babies in. All them curls. Sure wish I could sleep like my dog does. All right. At the end. So, let me show you this right here. See how that guy bumps out? I left him there intentionally to show you this. Once you get from here and you start coming down here, you can't fix that. Not on a hybrid lock. Not with the crochet needle. This will get brought in, just that little bit of extra bump, if you want it to get brought in, will get brought in when we heat seal. It'll shrink it like a shrink wrap. Other side. Curl pattern gets a little weird right there. We're in the middle, but that's okay. We're still just going to follow that spiral and let that curl on the inside do what it wants to do. Right there, you can feel it starting to bend back over. Pull your straights. Curl pattern's getting a little wonky right there. So, identify it. Figure out where the twist is. It's right here. So we need to bring these babies back together so that they're straight. Now, if this gets real crazy, and say you get a big bump right here, and everything pulls out, all you gotta do is straighten this hair back. All this hair goes back straight and recurls to where it wants to do. That's the beauty of a hybrid lock. It's heat sealed to stay like this. You're only going to change this curl pattern if you reheat seal it. Or if you add too much tension with the crochet needle. See that bad boy? He's back to just fine. Little loop right there. It's fine. It'll get brought in with the heat seal. Coming down. So as you're learning how to do these, you're going to realize that you're going to mess up a couple packs of hair first. And the synthetic curled hair is generally more expensive than straight Kankelon hair. But I'll pay that extra because I'm not heat sealing these curls. I can't stand it. It doesn't hold the test of time. The curl pattern winds up changing and matting up, and all those expensive custom sets that people purchase on Etsy with the brushable curls and all that, those curls wind up losing their form because they were created by crocheting and then curling what was left. And that curl pattern comes out with wear, with use. All right, so my two curls are acting weird right now. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you what I mean by acting weird. I'm starting to lose my spiral here. I can feel it. It's still there, and it wants to follow along. If you look, it wants to follow along with this curl. But this curl's getting twisted. So we need all of these hairs to be together. So we're going to hold tension here. And we're going to brush these, which I know you're like, oh my God, what did she just do? I just put the curl back together. That's it. That's all you got to do with these. It just puts the curl back together. If you add a little bit of water to your fingers right now, that curl will look exactly like it did when it came from the factory. Back to one curl. So we're now back to our spiral. Caging around, letting that spiral form itself. So we got our curl pattern back. Follow that natural curl pattern. Not the natural, but the manufactured curl pattern. The one that was already there. That's what we're mimicking. That curl pattern that was already there. All right, so I'm getting close. I think I need to come down a little bit more, but let's come to the center and do a side-by-side. Oh, all right there. Bingo. Two dreadlocks made. And they're locked. And they're not going to get matted. They're not heat sealed yet. We still have a little bit more work to do. So, I am going to make another 38 to complete my order, and probably another 5 or 6 to have enough for good measure. So the next portion of this video, I'm going to show you heat sealing, one method of heat sealing synthetics. This is using a $11 heat seal gun, a shrink wrap gun. I found it at Walmart in the camping section over near the trailer accessories and such. It produces a low amount of heat to seal synthetic, but will burn your hair. So don't try this for the first time on a nice set of locks. You want to try and, you know, practice with it first before you just try heat sealing, whatever. And I guess I should probably point out also, this is not to be used on human hair. It will burn your human hair.